very warm welcome into the form where this week we head down to Otaki. Our feature is the Rider Stakes for the 2-year-olds. We'll also be heading to Te Rapa as well for the Taramanui Gold Cup Day. So to take you through all of this action, we've got the usual team in studio. Leith Innes is joining me as usual, and we also have Bevan Sweeney back this week and Aidan Rodley as usual. And here's what's coming up. We'll be starting with the Rider Stakes out of Otaki. On the undercard, the Otaki preview, we're taking a look at the open mile and the sprint, our racetrackers. Then we're heading to Te Rapa. We'll check out the Taramanui Gold Cup preview on the undercard, having a look at the open 1400 and the 3-year-old 1400 metres. And as usual, we'll be trying to find you our best bets for the weekend. It is a Rider Stakes day for the Levin Racing Club at Otaki. So as I say, hello to you, to Bevan Sweeney. What track conditions are we going to be running on Saturday?
Yeah, hello Pip and hello team. It's been a reasonably settled week in the central districts across the last 5 days. There's a little bit of rain forecast for Saturday, but the damage really has been done. It is a heavy 10. I think it'll be a bonus if we do get a shower or two on Saturday just to loosen that track up. But it's winter time, heavy 10 there, Otaki Saturday.
Okay, well, let's have a look at the feature. It is race number 5 on the program, and this year it is sponsored by the Phil's Electrical and Gypsy Caravans. And in the market, read about it. Heads the betting narrowly, as you can see. $4.40, Ortega at $4.60, Honey Badger at $6, and Grove Street at $7. So it's a very open affair. As we take a look at the form leading in, let's go to Ortega here. And Leith, this was a really good performance considering where the horse sat right throughout the running.
Yeah, she's a 2-year-old filly by Reliable Man, so she really likes to cut in the track. I really like the horse on the inside, Bo Like. Looks like a horse will probably end up outside the leader from its draw, and like Sarah O'Malley, Barrier 9, and look, it really loves that heavy track as well.
And the good thing about this is the form's been franked, hasn't it, from Bo Luca coming out and running second to Vegas Queen. So that form looks good. Ortega comes in 2 kilograms better just at stakes level. So there's just so much upside about Ortega for this.
Really difficult to assess this 2-year-old race because the other form line really is an on-speed race, and that race didn't change very much as they got down to the line. What Leith mentioned about Reliable Man is probably a massively strong factor in the race. It'll get away with a heavy track condition, but form around that race certainly very strong, but I found this very difficult to assess. Read about it went down south for Robbie Patterson, and they were climbing out of trees to back this particular horse, and I think he'll benefit with the fact that he's going around a corner on Saturday, the 2-year-old by road. I think he got completely lost here coming down the chute, and the leader got away on him and never really looked a winning chance, but the last bit of the work was very, very strong. Now, that run under the belt, the travel would have done him good. He's getting back into the central districts and he's coming around a corner. I thought that was a positive for this horse.
Yeah, he obviously hit the line late, and he was, like you said, he was having his first start. He really does look like he's a real sort of wet track horse, and Robbie's back from holiday, so we have him super fit. A little bit surprised he's favourite, but like you said, Bevan, it's such an even field.
I think a lot of why his favourite was actually the work he'd done prior at the trials. His trials were very good. I think he was unbeaten in 3 before that run. You know that race experience is so important with 2-year-olds, so he does look an improver and a key contender in this race as well. He's one of the main lead-up forms, and obviously we're getting a cross-reference here through Rhythm and Spice, who runs third after chasing home Ortega and Bo Luca. Grove Street did it really nicely from the front, giving Ferrando his first win, but the horse that I was really taken with here is Honey Badger, and I just think there's that much improvement to come from Honey Badger. Again, it's a learning experience, the first time to the races. Not a lot between this pair from them, Leith.
No, there wasn't much over them. Obviously, the track was playing quite up and in, and look, the horse first and second, there was not much between them. Yeah, Honey Badger, interesting ownership. Casper Founds' son owns it, and they bought it the Ready to Runs for sort of $30,000. So, look, it's another one. Tony Pike's left it in work, knowing that it's going to be a heavy sort of 10 track at Otaki, so it's bound to be a top 3 chance.
Yeah, I didn't think there was very much between these two. Honey Badger had a lot of money on it late at Hastings on that occasion, and they really left Grove Street alone, and I thought it was a superb effort for a young horse. Did have a little bit of experience on board with those couple of runs in that first preparation. That was probably key. Honey Badger went up, and I thought the inside horse found really strongly under Leah Hemia, who was rewarded with the ride again on Saturday, but they're drawn 8 and 10. Race number 5, that might be crucial, that they're drawn not towards the inside there at Otaki by that part of the day, but gee, I found this really difficult to really put a circle around one. I was really impressed with Reed About It at the trials before heading to Riccarton. That was a big ask going to Riccarton at its debut and going down the chute. I thought it got pretty lost. I thought it found the line really nicely late in that particular race. I think it'll improve markedly. And so I've gone with Reed About It, but with very, very little confidence.
Well, let's see if we can get a guide from Stephen Marsh. He's the trainer of Ortega, and Aidan just asked him how the filly is working.
Going really good. She was good and brave at Pukekohe. Track was very wet. She was caught a bit wide, worked hard. Sort of got a little bit lost, but knuckled down good late. And look, that won't matter what the track's like down there. And you know, filly, that's a winner now. It'll be nice to get a bit of black type at 2.
Yeah, and does look like a really prime opportunity to pick up that stakes win, doesn't it?
Yeah, often these 2-year-old races late in the season, well, we would never say easy, but they're certainly easier than taking them to nice 3-year-old company a month or so later. So no, she'll get a real chance to get a bit of black type.
There you go, if you like her. She's paying a good price, but Bevan, obviously you're going the other way, as you already mentioned.
Yeah, fielded in the first leg of the quarter here. I think there's a host of chances here in the 5th on the program, but yeah, as I mentioned, Read About It for Robbie Pedersen. I think out of an Ifraj mare being by rote that it'll probably get away with the track conditions as it showed at Riccarton. Big ask down there, I think, can run in the money for Robbie on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Murray Garrett train horse, number 2, Bowliker. Look, I really like it. It's both its runs. Look, I think Sarah O'Malley's got the good option when she's drawn barrier 9. The track's going to be super heavy, and being by Embellish, I think the horse is just going to really relish the heavy 10 track, and definitely a great each weight chance at sort of $8 and $2.50.
It's that type of race, isn't it? So even, a really nice running of the Sarah Ryder Stakes, and because of that, so many chances. I'm going to go Honey Badger. I don't think there's much between Honey Badger and Ortega, but really respect those horses that you boys have spoken about, and Grove Street. But in the end, Pip, I've landed on Honey Badger.
There you go, everyone with a different horse in the 2-year-old Riders Stakes. And don't forget to, out of Otaki, if you're wanting to play into any of the horses, well, they are all surged with the TAB, so the odds surge in play across all races at Otaki on Saturday. We're going to continue with the Otaki and take a look at the 2 open races on the program. We have a look at race number 2, Apawa Jack. It does head the betting at $3.30 from Blackwood Star at $5, Very Flash at $5.50, and then you're getting out to a runner like Sacred Pearl at $6.50. Let's take you back to Apawa Jack winning last time, and he was just really dominant here on the turf, Bevan.
Yeah, I was surprised that he handled this track condition quite as well. This is a 75 event, so he's up to an open handicap event. Therefore, he goes down a bit in weight to the 55. He's certainly going really well. He's an underrated horse. He's won 5 of 22 and been great, Nick, this preparation. So, look, he's probably in at the right weight against a couple of more senior handicappers up the top of the book.
Yeah, he's in super form at the moment. Look, he's proven on wet tracks. He's going to be one of those horses probably going to lead. Definitely sort of a top 3 chance. I know they've got another race in mind coming up, the Cambridge Synthetic. There's a 2,000 metre race. It's a $100,000 race. So look, I'm not they're not using it as a leader, but I'm just a little bit worried about him this week.
It's super consistent though, so you've got to have respect, and especially like you say, it's handling all types of tracks as well. One of the key form races for mine is this one here. We take you back to Espresso de Go's win. I think this is the white handicap, isn't it? So the runs in behind, Very Flash, excellent, stays at the same weight. Good run from Blackwood Star into 3rd, but goes up 4 kilograms, and Sacred Pearl into 4th, who stays at the same weight. From what we've seen here of Very Flash, with the 4 kilogram claim, I thought the horse probably to beat in the race.
Yeah, I thought he was at good value as well. Look, obviously, Rahan Gorham gets a 4 kilos off his back, so he gets down to 56. And look, even though he's a rising 10-year-old, he's going super at the moment.
Yeah, he actually quite badly cut a leg when he was winning his jumping race at Hawera, so he hadn't really done a lot of work leading up into Trentham, I understand. So he's only going to improve. He's got a massive record at the 1,600 metres. Otaki not quite so good, but he's the clear top liner for me with the 4 kilos off down to the 56 kilos. I hope he doesn't become the next LJ for me, but he's a very, very good horse, Very Flash, and 1,600 metres suits with 56 kilos for mine.
Yeah, I'm with you as well, Bevan. I just think the 4 kilos off his back, Rahan Gorham, he's riding super well. He's a talented kid. 56 kilos, you know he's going to handle that heavy 10 at Otaki, and I think Dummy Miles will be going very close this week.
Yeah, I'm with you boys as well. I'm with Very Flash, but just going back, his last 3 wins have all been over hurdles. You've got to go back to the 2022 white handicap since he last won on the flat, but he's beautifully placed with Gorham's 4 kilogram claim, so I'm happy to be with him.
There's some confidence if you want to back into him with all the team with Very Flash. As we now turn our attention to the Open Sprint, and it is sponsored by the Levin Truck Services Handicap. Up the top of the book, We Will Rock, short again, $1.90 from Old Town Road at $3.20 and Tavi Court at $4.80. Let's go back to We Will Rock, and it was just beautifully rated out here in front as well by Tristan Moodley-Leith.
Yeah, he was, Pip. Obviously, new rider this week. Rahan Gorham gets on, so he gets that 4 kilos off instead of 3. So, look, he's not a real easy horse to ride, but you can see here he found the rail, and look, if he finds the rail on Saturday, if the track's still okay by this race 3, look, I think he's going to be awfully hard to beat.
You can tell after 100 metres with We Will Rock whether he's going to be winning by a margin. And when he gets into that big, bold rhythm, he has extravagant type of action. You just know that he's going to take a power of beating. He does blot his copybook at times, but I think Otaki more than likely suits him with the 4 kilos off. He should be able to roll around on speed. Old Town Road's probably the other one that might put a bit of pressure into it, but he's got a really strong high cruising speed, We Will Rock, which can put others under pressure behind him, and then he can kick strongly at the top of the straight. He's in that sort of pattern. They're trying to hold him as we get towards the Fox Bridge into the first leg of Hawke's Bay. Been up for a while, but he's certainly going really, really well.
Yeah, that being the case, he'll head to Weight for Age, which will suit him a lot better. But even now, with the 4 kilogram claim, he was getting up to 57.5. So that's the thing that might be starting to just get the better of him. But he's just going so well. It's wins or seconds right through. And when he's won, as we saw in that video at Tarapa, he was just really dominant. He's a clinical winter galloper who's going the right way towards some of those bigger features, and he probably should be leading and winning this. However, Tavi's Court was back in form last time out. They brought this horse wide under Jim Chung. He rides reigned in here with Ali Soul taking her 4 kilograms off to 55.5 on one who has been a model of consistency right through his career, Leith.
Yeah, look, he's another one who really loves that heavy sort of 10-plus tracks. Good to see him back in the winner's circle as well. And, yeah, interesting, Jim's on the other horse and Ali Soul gets on. So, obviously, the 4 kilos back to... Look, that good weight of 55.5 as well.
He can be finicky. He's a stunning looking horse. When he walks into the bouquet, he always has been the outrider by Tavistock. And he always puts up 2 top-line performances a season, and then there's a couple that would be a little bit disappointing. But that's a function of being right up in that open handicap grade for so long, 55.5. That's a nice weight for him. Less than he carried to win last time. He's a good competitive horse. I think We Will Rock is going to be out in 2 or 3 lengths clear at the top of the straight. Whether he can run We Will Rock down in the same sort of scenario, I'm not sure. So I'm going to go with We Will Rock. $1.90, you just watch where he's going to head in the market. You might get a little bit more as he's sort of holding through into the bigger races that are coming up into the spring. But yeah, We Will Rock for mine.
Yeah, I'm with the favourite as well, Bevan. Look, I've got a little bit of respect for Old Town Road. He gets 1.5 kilos off We Will Rock. But I just think Rahan Gorham, I think if he can just get the horse into a nice rhythm and the fence is sort of okay 2 or 3 off, I think he'd be awfully hard to beat on Saturday.
One thing about this young rider is he doesn't seem overawed by anything. He's rising to the big occasion, and obviously that's caught the attention of some pretty influential trainers. He'll team up with We Will Rock, who's got that Otaki placing on the board, be out there in front in a small field. He just looks to dominate, maps really well, and the horse to beat. So no argument from me here, Pip.
And if you like him, he's at $2.10 in the odds surge. So all the team with We Will Rock. And don't forget the first race from Otaki, 12:05, trackside 1 Saturday. Race tracker time on the form. Note these ones down and pop them in your black book. Leith, we're going to start with you. Who have you found this week?
Well, there was a few there, Pip. The Wallace horses, Chris's horses on Tuesday at Rosehill. There's about 4 or 5 of them that you could have marked down. But I'm just going to take you to Viva Sistina. She's back last here on the inside. And look, she was had the handbrake on the whole way up the straight. Look, she raced in Australia last year. She won her first race and then she ran into Pride of Jenny when she was out by 45 lengths and she ran second. So I don't think we'll be seeing that again happening. But I just think Viva Sistina, I think, like a race like the Toombul Stakes, look, she's about $4.60. I know it's a long way out, but I think she's she's going the right way this time in.
My best bet becomes my race tracker and Bell's Fate. Just got lost before the corner at Hawera on a Tuesday. I think a senior rider goes on maybe a little bit more of a trip. And this horse will be winning at absolute short notice. Bell's Fate for Robbie Patterson.
I saw that. It was a really nice run. I went to the trials on Tuesday. This horse who's back on the inside in the Lib Britannia colours is a horse called Yaldi, who'd won his first 3 trials, won on debut, then ran third in the listed race at Flemington. He's a big, strong, powerful horse who's really athletic as well. I knew not a lot about him, but I thought it was just a super trial. That's in behind the Group 1 performer, Red Sea. Andrew Forsman's team's coming up really nicely. We'll have a feature on those very shortly on trackside, but Yaldi, one to watch, Pip.
Yeah, and I feel a bit changing tact here completely, but I'm going to go to a dog, Double Play. Just think she's really building towards a win. This is her over the 375 metres, 3 starts back after a freshen up, and she's just coming to the end of it. Really suited to hat trick. She races around there on Friday night in a later race. I do think she should be winning and one to follow. Just over the 305 metres, should be picking up a couple at short notice. So here's a summary. Via Sistina for Leith, Bell's Fate for Bevan, Yaldi for Aiden, and on with Double Play. Chuck them in your black book. It is Tamaranui Cup Day at Te Rapa on Saturday. Leith, we know we've had some terrible weather around. Are we getting better on this weekend?
There's no rain between now and Saturday, Pip, but look, the last 7 days have had 56 mils of rain. And Andrew Castles, I talked to him this morning, and look, he was sort of in the mind, like, the tracks are definitely going to be a heavy 10. He said it's probably going to be a little bit of a puggy, so it's going to be really hard. You know, the rail's out 7 metres, and look, it's winter galloping, as we know.
Testing, absolutely. As we take a look at the feature on the program, race number 6, and Diamond Jack heads the betting at $3.50, Khan Hunter at $4.40, Hula Beat at $5, and Pacheco at $7.50 from Cleese is the only other runner in single figures. Let's go back to Diamond Jack. He wins this race. Obviously, Hula Beat second, and Margaret Dreen in behind, but he'd been really building towards this, Aiden.
Yeah, really nice win from a horse who's just getting better and better. Handles wet tracks okay, loves Te Rapa, did this really effortlessly in the end, beaten a good field by 3.5 lengths, and then from that drops 4 kilograms in weight. In behind them, Hula Beat here also drops 4, but no match for him. And further back was Margaret Jean, who had been so good in winning the start before beating home Diamond Jack, but on that performance with the weight drop, just looks beautifully placed in this year's Taumarunui Cup.
Yeah, he certainly does, Aiden. Look, he was hardest thing about it. He paid $6.50 there when he won, and he won pretty easy. Look, that was his second up run. His third up record is really good as well. He's won, 2 times from 3 starts and a placing, and like you said, he loves that Te Rapa track.
Yeah, that was a superb performance. I was actually taken aback how good their effort was. Look, Hula Beat, it's drawn 1 on Saturday. I hope they just go and lead. This horse doesn't have a massive turn of foot about it. It's going to get beaten in a sprint home over the last 200 metres by a couple in this. But I think if they go to the front, Ace can dominate this race from a forward position. I really think this horse can be quite dangerous again. Hula Beat just has to be ridden, I think, in a positive way, and I think there can be a change in placings. But yeah, I agree with the boys. Diamond Jack was just fantastic on that occasion. What about Khan Hunter? Now, this is at the Tauranga. This is a rating 85. I'm not sure how to assess this against Te Rapa race. In my personal opinion, probably Te Rapa better, but just rolled along and gave no other horse a real chance. Blue Sky at Night's going to chase home hard late, but it's still going to be a 4-length margin, and in the hands of Mary Sense. And this horse, when he's out there and loving it, Leith, he's pretty hard to catch.
Yeah, exactly. Look, it was a home track horse at Tauranga. I think we all know that day it was up and in. But it was a good training effort as well. He hadn't raced for a long time, and you'd think he'd take natural improvement out of the race, and Maria takes the 3 kilos off his back as well this week.
Yeah, ran an Auckland Cup, 3 starts back, really good win last time out in that Kiwi Fruit Cup. One stat that just gets me, it's just ringing my ears, left-handed, 14 starts, 0 wins for a horse with a big weight. Just enough to me to say, just be a little bit cautious. I'll play against Khan Hunter here today. Okay, next horse we're going to have a look at is this one. This is a huge performance from Jack in the Box. The win was off the back of maybe a plain performance, but then bounced back on the wet conditions and did it really nicely. Your thoughts, Lee?
Yeah, it's a really big jump in class. Nothing against that race at Wanganui, but look, I'm sitting on the fence. I can't really have him on my ticket this week. I think it was a really sort of weak 65 rating race. It's a pretty strong race this week.
Completely agree with Leith. This is a major, major step up. No disrespect to those behind this particular horse, but they're not going to end up an open handicap grade. Smoking Mo's a useful enough sort of 65, 75 star, but yeah, I'm with Leith, not for me on Saturday.
Well, let's also head to some connections again. This time we're going to start with Diamond Jack's jockey Jasmine Fawcett, and Aidan just asked her what the horse showed her last start.
Yeah, he was quite strong last time. I was a little bit further back in a position I didn't want to be, but he travelled really strongly through the field and found the line really strong with plenty left. So I'm quite excited about this weekend.
Going really good. His last start was good. He probably got a little bit sort of lost his way of touch, but it was good to the line. He's running in rock solid. How he's going is rock solid. And Margaret Jean, she won very good 2 starts ago. Just was probably a little bit fair last start. We've just been jumping her, changed a few things around with her and hoping she can bounce back.
Obviously a jumper, but has won on wet ground, which I think is a big plus, which we're probably going to get on Saturday and at the course. So, looking forward to riding the horse.
Right, selection time. Aidan, who are you with?
Yeah, I was pretty keen about the chance of Diamond Jack on what we saw last time out, and just especially in relation to those horses that he did beat last time out, Hula Beat and Margaret Jean. He's just in beautifully, loves the track, loves a wet track, in great form, dominant, and geez, Bevan floored me a little bit by saying that Hula Beat could be the leader. I went back through the record. The closest he's ever been is third in running, and most of the time midfield or further back, so it's an interesting tactic change. Leith, what were your thoughts on that one?
He might have the phone line to Ace Lawson. Obviously, he gets in with 52.5. They might be handy. I'm not too sure, but look, I'm with Diamond Jack. Look, Jasmine Fawcett, she's had a great season. She's coming up to 70 winners, so she's running well at the moment. Yeah,
well, if it's not working, you might have to change something, I suppose, Aidan. We've learnt that over a long period of time in racing. I'm going to stick with Hula Beat. I was with it last time. I was a fraction disappointed. I'm not sure if that was a function of Diamond Jack just being pretty outstanding on the day, but the horse just seemed to get really lost to me when it cleared a pocket. Didn't really accelerate really quickly, so I think just a little change around that particular horse. It does stay really strongly. I don't think it sits down on its run at all, and just a change in tactic can possibly turn it around. The boys have both gone Diamond Jack. I'll go just a little bit different with Hula Beat.
Yeah, I'm sure you look like a genius if you see him leading on Saturday. And speaking of Saturday, we've got the bonus back in play as well. Races 1 to 4 from Te Rapa, Caulfield and Randwick. So get involved, plenty of options this weekend. We are sticking with Te Rapa, and we're now going to have a look at the open sprint race here. And Dusty Road heads the betting at $2, then Open Minded at $3.20 and Fontaine at $7 from Dubai Diva. As you can see, getting out to around $15 for Helena Baby. Speaking of Dusty Road, let's go back to him finishing second behind Wessex. How did you assess this performance, Leith?
Yeah, I think it was a really good run, Pip. Obviously, Wessex had the advantage of having a claim with Rohan Gorham on 4 kilos, so I think he just sort of peaked on his run a little bit. He was having his first start in blinkers as well, so I think he's a big improver out of the race, and he gets back to a track where he really likes Te Rapa as well.
Yeah, I'm going to say I've really taken by what he's done all preparation. He's just building, isn't he? Maybe we could have expected a touch more from him in behind Wessex, but Wessex has been going really nicely too, although you've got to be a bit forgiving of her on Tuesday in the Opunaki Cup. But Dusty Road going the right way, strong, loves Trentham, and 4 kilogram claim of Liam Cody. He looks like he's an improved rider too, Bevan.
Yeah, he is. Like, I think he has improved markedly in recent times, Liam, and he was riding nicely again on Saturday. I didn't know what to make, I think you've been kind, on Wessex on Tuesday. Like, it was given no chance at all. It took off like a startled cat, and in those sort of track conditions, I didn't really understand it. However, I do think this horse certainly has a good chance of taking this particular race out Dusty Road, and I'm not sure we have to go any further, but we're going to bring you Open Minded, who was 4th at Te Rapa recently, and behind We Will Rock, but they were chasing a memory here, so I can't really get a decent sort of line on it. I'll come to you, Leith, because I just think Dusty Road wins with the improvement with the blinkers on.
I think Open Minded, it was having its first start for 259 days, so there's going to be plenty of natural fitness out of it, previously trained by the Freedmans in Melbourne, so I think if there is one to sort of get close to Dusty Road, it's definitely Open Minded with the claim on Tristan Moodley taking 2 off.
Yeah, like the fact that Moodley's booked for this one, who was a multiple winner in Melbourne in the city, like in good tracks, and even up to stakes level as well, was a listed winner there. Yeah, the 2 kilograms off, it's still a big ask, 58 kilograms second up into a winter preparation, but we know the abilities there from what we've seen of this horse in the past. In the end, I've settled on Dusty Road, just gone there. The horse who I thought just might be a little smoky here is Helena Baby. He's a horse who's hard fit, and he's an Opunake Cup winner, Group 1 placed in a Tarzan. I wouldn't be riding him off.
Yeah, he's won his last 2 races as well, Rod, but they have been over jumps. But look, I think Liam Carey, the 4 kilos off his back, I think is a great chance, and he'll be winning on Saturday.
Dusty Road will be winning, in my opinion, on Saturday, even with a bit of improvement out of Open Minded. I think he's going too well, this horse. Wessex was good at Hastings. Obviously, things went 100% right at Hawara, but Dusty Road for me.
Now let's move on to the 3-year-old 1400 metre race, and it did the trick is our favourite at 3.10 from Cornelia at 3.30, and then Sterling Express on that third line of betting at $6.50. We're going to take you back to Tauranga, have a look at Did the Trick winning here, and obviously Leith, you were a little bit sour about Cornelia's run as well.
Yeah, it's sort of Jasmine just sort of gave away a spot there, and look, Did the Trick. It was a really on-speed day, and gee, Wayne Hillis's horses are flying at the moment as well. He's getting winners everywhere. So, look, looks the natural leader in the race of Sam Weatherly on, even though it's drawn barrier 11. Doesn't look a lot of speed in the race, so could get an easy lead.
Yep, really nice win this day, and obviously you look at it on face value, you think, oh, it's going to be a big job for Cornelia to turn the tables, but just like the way that Cornelia has hit the line and has gone on to win again since, which we'll have a look at shortly. I don't think there's a lot between them, and in the end, I was actually giving the filly more favour, so maybe a chance to turn the tables on Saturday, although real respect around Did the Trick from that run, Bevan.
Yeah, it's on speed versus a potential horse that might skip through a couple of grades really quickly in Cornelia. I was really impressed with Cornelia last time. I thought she really answered a couple of questions attitude-wise and ability-wise to really get up on the line, but I do really like one here. It's a horse that's been following for quite a period of time in Rariza. I think this horse has got really good ability for Cody Cole out wide. I don't think things have really fallen into place with this horse. It's been behind some nice horses and beaten small margins. Look, it has to turn around, a 4.5 length deficit on Saturday, but up to the 1400 metres, just had a lot of time for Rariza, but I've got a lot of respect for Cornelia in the same breath as well, Leith.
Yeah, I certainly think Cornelia is the best horse in the race. There's a little bit of a question mark if she runs on that sort of heavy testing sort of 10 track. Rareza, I really like this horse, especially stepping up to the 1400 metres, and Najam Palmer takes that 1 kilo off as well.
Yeah, there is a 2 kilogram swing to Rareza this week, but she was only doing her best work late, and she's getting better. There seems to be a lot more in hand. I just really rate her. I think she's a progressive filly who can go on and do some pretty good things early next season as well. And I don't think we've seen anywhere near her ceiling. I think she'll be winning again on Saturday. She was close to being my best of the day. Yeah,
I certainly think that the same thing. I reckon she's a really, really good horse, but I'm just worried about that heavy 10 track at over 1400 metres. And I've just gone for a bit of value. I think the Cody Cole trained Rareza with Najam Palmer on, you're getting sort of $11 and $3 each way. So that'll be me on Saturday.
I'm not convinced there's a big margin between Cornelia and Rareza team. I think this 3-year-old filly by Exosphere has been lightly raced and has been in some nice races, winning a good strong maiden 3-year-old at Counties. Thought the effort behind Pukuri Gold, who was in fine fettle at that time, was really, really good. It hadn't raced for just on 3 weeks into its last start. I thought it was a good enough effort. I reckon 1400 metres probably suits. So I'm going to go with a little bit of value in the race with respect around a decent sort of field. It's a nice field for this time of year.
Yeah, it certainly is. And that does complete our look at Te Rapa. Make sure you tune into the action trackside 1 on Saturday. Time for our best bets. Obviously, we didn't have the best weekend the last time, but a shout out to Aidan because his bet just absolutely bolted in. So let's find some more. Leith, who are you with?
Yeah, I'm going to take you back to Dusty Road, Pip. Look, Liam Carey gets the 4 kilos off, so he gets down to 54.5 kilos. He's got a liking for Te Rapa. Look, I know he's short at $2, but I just can't see anything else in the field to come out and beat him.
I'll take you to Otaki on Saturday, and a horse called Faravello, who's now with Royd and Burgesson. It was brilliant at Trentham. It was late scratched at Hastings recently. I don't think they'll see which way this horse goes in the 4th at Otaki.
I really wanted to find you one from Riccarton, but couldn't in the end. So I've gone to Te Rapa and gone for Diamond Jack. Just love what this horse was doing last time out. Everything suits. Weight, course, track conditions. I think Diamond Jack can win the Cup as my best.
I'm going to go to Waverley on Sunday. Wonder Boy having his second race day start. Jonathan Park sticks with. He went back last time from a wide gate, but he flew late and just couldn't quite pick up the pacemaker. But I think he can go one better on Sunday in race number 9. Let's have a look at a summary for you. The Whale starts us off this week. He's with Always Be Magic at Alexandra Park on Friday. Dusty Road for Leith. Bevan's with Faravello. Aiden's with Diamond Jack. I'm with Wonder Boy. And those are your best bets this weekend. Let's hope we can go 5 from 5. And that completes the form again for the week. Let's hope we get better weather. And we look forward to all of the racing action. Until next week, see you then.